Good morning, members and friends of Calvary. Once again, time for your video devotion of the week. Today it comes from Romans chapter 14 and verse number 4. There's a controversy going on among the Jews as to what they can eat and meat sacrificed to idols. Some are saying you shouldn't eat meat at all. And so there's this dispute that's going on that's gotten pretty heated. The Apostle Paul gives his counsel, and in verse number 4 he says, "Who art thou that judges another man's servant? To his own master he standeth or falleth, yea, he shall be holden up, for God is able to make him stand." And so what Paul basically says is, it's none of your business. That servant is another man's servant. You're not the boss. You're not the master. And he doesn't answer to you. He answers to God. And so the challenge really today is this. We've got enough to worry about in our own world, in our own life, with our own families, our own church. I can get really frustrated when I start looking around at other churches and what they're doing or not doing, but I'll never give an account for that. Now, if God would open a door and I can be of help and a blessing, sure. But the moment I start trying to judge another man's servant, judge another man's church, it's not my church. It's not my servant. They're God's. And so I can like it. I can dislike it. I can be frustrated by it. I can be encouraged by it. I can be whatever. But in the end, he's not going to answer to me. They are going to answer to God. And so a challenge this morning just to let that go, let God handle it, pray for them. It's the very best thing you could do for them anyhow, live a godly example in front of them. But don't get so wrapped up in other people's business and judging other people's servants. It'll just cause you grief, and we're not really allowed to do that. Glad to be back. Looking forward to seeing you this weekend.